Hi everybody, it's Mike Newman. It's Monday morning finish line. It's October 8th. It's close. It's getting closer, state meet. It's getting close to championship season too, when we start that this weekend with all the conference meets. So hope everybody's having a good weekend. It's Columbus Day weekend. If you're watching this on Monday morning, I'm on my way to Amboy. That's what a great meet. The Amboy Columbus Day Invitational is at Shady Oaks Golf Course. It's a unique course. I love the course. I love the meet. 1A schools, and there's some good the meet today is going to be fantastic. So I'll have a recap, and we'll have videos of the two varsity races there. What do we want to talk about? And there was so much that went on. Well, not a lot went on this week other than the Naperville Twilight meet. We really want to talk a lot about that. And we want to talk about what happened this past weekend, and then we're going to look ahead at conferences. So those are the three things that we are looking at. Let's start with this weekend. So I had a number of things that happened. Well, I had one thing that really happened this week physically at Twilight, and thank you for those people that were looking over me and looking out for me. So Saturday morning comes around. My mom is out of the country. She goes on a trip, so I had to get her to the airport at 4 o'clock. I went back to sleep. I'm like, well, I'll get an hour of sleep before I go to West Aurora. And then my phone goes off. Guess what? West Aurora is canceled. I'm like, okay, I'll go to Wheeling. Oh no, Wheeling is canceled. And I made the decision at that point, it's a good day to rest. But the thing is, with all those cancellations, now this is the second weekend, well, I mean 3 weekends where we've had weather that's played a part in canceling meets. First week of the season, obviously, with Hinsdale and all those other meets. Then we had Springfield Lamphere, the Halberg Invitational, and then this weekend. So there are a ton of coaches that are scrambling right now because according to the IHSA bylaws or the IHSA rules for cross country, a team must compete in 6 varsity meets in order to compete as a team in the state series, which means there are some teams that are scrambling right now this week. They're going to have to run an extra meet just to get to that 6. Wheaton Warrenville South boys team. Once they run their conference meet on Saturday, that's 5 meets for them that they've run varsity meets. They need 1 more meet. So you have that scrambling around that's going around because you have so many meets. I think it's more in the line of our coaches overthinking some of these schedules. Yeah, I don't know. I think we're going to have a little more thought in our scheduling now because you're thinking. So we're going to be thinking. So what happens if point A, point B happens, or this meet's canceled, or this meet is canceled? It's not really going to affect the teams that have dual meets still in their conference meets, league meets, whatever. So, I mean, some schools it's not going to affect, but there are other schools right now that are scrambling, trying to find somebody that will host a meet, trying to find a place to hold a meet, and this is the week of the conference meet, so you've got to get that in there, and it has to be a varsity meet in order to qualify. So it's going to be interesting to see if there's that one school that doesn't know the rules, one coach that doesn't know the rules, and he goes and enters his team. The IHSA checks, well, how many meets did you compete in? And they'll say, oh, 4 or 5. Your team's running as individuals. You don't count in a team scoring. You don't advance. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. And then the parents will start complaining, and then we'll have lawsuits and everything like that. I love parents. There are a ton ton of great cross-country parents. But there are a few cross-country parents that you drive me crazy, and you know, live for the moment, enjoy what your kids are doing, don't live through them, so to speak. I think I've said that before. So interesting to see what happens in this next week when it comes to that. Now, so the meets that we had Metamora. That was the biggest of the meets. Hey, Matthias Powell, 14:56 at Black Partridge. And that course, you're running through trails. It's a mess running back there. So 14:56 for 2.94 miles on that messy course. That's pretty good. And consider the fact that he defeated Nick Dowd of Bloomington. And Nick the week before ran 14:47 at Detweiler, and Powell beat him by 31 seconds. So if we're looking at 2A favorites right now, it's got to be Powell. Matthias Powell ran good at Richard Spring, and now this. He's the guy to watch for when we get into the state series. On the team, in the team area at Metamora boys, Normal University, and we were talking about them last week. They looked pretty good. Nice pack through three. They had 3 runners in the top 10 in that race. We're ahead of Bloomington. Bloomington also looked good. Bloomington's a good team. And we said that last week, challenging Chatham Glenwood. On the girls' side, Aspen Gordon wins by about 30 seconds over Ellis from Muhammad Seymour. And Muhammad Seymour won the team title, 96 points. Second place was Tolono Unity with 104 points, and they were running with heavy hearts. Wow. Kind of hit me, I think it was Wednesday or Thursday, or I don't know, last week, where I saw the news that Savannah Day, who was a runner on their championship teams the past couple of years, just graduated, was running at a Danville area community college, and was in an accident and passed away. And our thoughts and prayers still go out to the Tolono Unity team, and to the parents, and to the community. It's got to be a tough time. I think. I mean, I had it once where it was right after we graduated high school, a few weeks afterwards, and found out that one of my friends, one of my teammates in high school, was killed in a motorboat accident in Lake Geneva. A drunk driver on a boat crashed into his boat. That was that. And I was only 17, 18 years old, so trying to understand why your friend is gone, that it takes a long time to figure things out like that. And so we'll keep praying for them, and they were running for a purpose to start with this year. Now, boy, but they did run a great race to get second in a meet with a ton of 2A teams. Yeah, so I wish I could say more on that. I know it's a tough time. So other meets, the boys' side, Tolono Unity boys were at Toledo Cumberland. Freeburg won the boys' side. The girls' side, St. Joseph Ogden looks pretty good. Cassidy Bagsby won by almost a minute at Lakeland Community College and outside Mattoon. And so St. Joseph Ogden looks pretty good. What else? I mean, there were a ton of smaller meets at Bennett Academy. Nicole Ruff, I think that's what her name is, a freshman from South Elgin, ran 18:11 at Community Park in Lisle. And it's a hilly course, and plus the fact it was a muddy course. Keep an eye on her. There was another freshman that got second, Julia Wolke of Christian Liberty Academy in Arlington Heights, 1A runner. I would keep an eye on her going into the state series in the next couple of weeks. So I did write a recap from this past weekend. Check it out at ilxctf.com. Let's go back to Naperville. Twilight. you always hope for in a high stakes, big old meet like Twilight is 17 high quality teams, well, mostly high quality teams on each side, where you're hoping for great performances. And the one race that everybody was looking forward to since July was the girls race, the girls team race. And we saw that last week at Roy Griak in Minnesota, where Yorkville was ahead of Naperville North and Downers Grove South. Well, Naperville North figured out their pack, ran a little bit better, and they still only won by 10 over Yorkville. Yorkville didn't run bad, but they didn't run as good as they did at Griak. 3 runners up there, Fox, Eberhardt together, then Claronomos was a few seconds back. So they had 3 runners up there. Clem was farther back. Borowiak was the runner, Yorkville's 5th runner. And Naperville North, Alex Morris ran, that was, I asked Coach Dan Iverson, I'm like, he said, that was her best race. And she was aggressive, she was going out. I'm like, well, was it better than her NXN race where she got 12th? And that's a good question. But Alex looked fantastic, was chasing or pushing Katrina Schlenker of Batavia the entire way for 2nd and 3rd. Naperville North, you have Campbell Peterson, who was the team's #1 runner at Griak. She was the team's 4th runner in that pack. So their depth is pretty good, Naperville North. They're going to be tough, but there are so many good teams. There's so many good girls teams. But I think it's separated between the 3 top teams. And you had Downers Grove South, that got 3rd. That was not too far behind either, 92, 93 points, something like that. Brenna Cahoon runs a fantastic race, gets 4th overall in that race. She was smiling at the end because she ran a pretty good race. And the rest of the team, nice pack by them, where they improved their pack behind them, but they got to get that pack a little bit closer to the front. The individual race, we knew Kaitlyn Hart was going to win. It's foregone conclusion. I'm watching the watch. I don't want to go over 30 minutes today. I was last week like 36 minutes. Oh, so Kaitlyn Hart. Now, the conditions, you didn't see fast times there because there was a strong wind from the south. And we had storms the next day, we had rain and all that. But it was just a strong wind. I'm up on my ladder, I'm just woo to finish. But it was all a matter about winning. And Paul Haas, the Glenbard West coach, told Kaitlyn before the race, you can just go for the win, you're not going to get a great time out of that. But Kaitlyn is Kaitlyn, and she's a feisty runner, she's a great runner, and she goes out 2:30 for the first half, and then slowed down 5:15 at the mile and just paid the price the rest of the way, because as you're weaving around the course at Naperville North, it's tough to avoid that wind, especially the way it was going. So we were able to talk to Kaitlyn Hart afterwards. Here's part of that interview.
16:37 is a pretty good rush
in first place
considering how windy it was today. Did your strategy change at all once you saw the conditions?
I think it should have, but I didn't change it. I was just wanting to go out fast and run a fast time. You know, I felt really good in training and thought, you know, I was ready for it. But I do think the conditions were a little bit restricting today, and I think we saw that across the board with some of the times. But you know, overall, you know, I'm super proud of how Glenbard ran and how the race went. So.
Did your coach tell you anything before the race?
He told me not to worry about times, but I was like,
I know you too well. Yeah.
I was like, yeah, okay, and then I, you know, wanted to go out fast, and so I heard like 2:30 at 800 and felt pretty good, and then I think I slowed down a little bit. But
you were 5:15 at the mile.
Yeah, but yeah, just from here, just improving and stuff like that.
I know you missed the record here by 0.7 of a second last year. Was that on your mind tonight?
Definitely was, and like I said, I feel like, you know, I've been training better than last year, and I felt like super strong going into today, so I was excited to, you know, that was definitely on my mind. But I think, yeah, just with the conditions, it wasn't necessarily ideal, but hopefully
You ran,
yeah.
You ran 16:14 a few weeks ago. What did you learn from that race?
You know, I definitely went out really hard at Peoria, which was, I mean, like I feel like I usually got a decent pace, but definitely harder than usual. But I kind of like that, and my goal for the season is to kind of try to keep getting into race shape, so eventually I can hold that a little bit better than I did at Peoria. And so I kind of tried to carry that trend on today. Obviously didn't work out as well as I hoped, but I think just continuing that throughout the rest of my races is hopefully the plan. So.
Yeah, you said a few seconds ago that you thought you were in better shape than you were last year. Is that the case in your mind right now?
Yeah, I think,
place winners 13
you know,
through
I think,
20.
you know, for myself and as a team, I think we've all been working super hard and definitely
so we need to have
leaps and bounds
place
last
winners.
year, so.
Next week, West Suburban Silver. What makes that conference meet so special?
I mean, obviously the great competition. I mean, all the teams are there. I mean, are so amazing. And Mr. Haas always talks about how, you know, I can't exactly remember the facts, but how, you know, the teams in our conference are always top 10 in state. I mean, it's crazy. So definitely the good competition. Proviso is kind of a fun course. You don't get to run it. I think I've only run it once, so I'm excited to get to run it again, and should be a really fun time.
What makes this meet so special?
This is actually one of my favorite meets of the season. I think it's such a cool meet. I think it's like all the teams and team camaraderie, and you know, it's at night, which is something you don't always see, and just like, you know, they've got music playing, and you know, all the fans that come out. It's just a really great atmosphere, and I think that's what makes it definitely a standout.
Next up, place winner.
So I get to see her the rest of the way. Every time she runs, except for I don't know, I may go to San Diego. I don't know. Every time I get to see her run the rest of the year, so that should be fun. That's a treat. She's such a good runner and such a good sportsman. Courteous to all. She was waiting for the other runners to come through. She was shaking their hand, and we saw that in the boys' race too. I love when Neuqua Valley, you know, stands in a line as all the runners are coming across the line. They stand in a line. They shake their hands. That's great sportsmanship, and Hart has that. And there are so many great runners in the state that have that. There's a few that are, but we won't go into that. On the boys' side, Jack Roberts, Downers Grove North, a little bit of a hamstring injury. Don't know if he's going to run at West Suburban Silver this weekend. If not, he's not. They won't run him at regionals because Downers North can advance with their JV team to sectionals. Now that sectional's kind of tough, or the regional's kind of tough, but you really don't need Jack in there. And here again, 14:56, Rory Cavan of Glenbard West, another Glenbard West runner, wins the race by about 13 seconds over his teammate Stephen Moody. So only one runner under 15 minutes. We were expecting faster, but there was conditions. There were parts of the course that were a little bit slippery, and what can you do about that? Not much you can do about that. Team-wise, Glenbard West. I'm starting to go through my head. I'm looking at different teams and looking at where this runner compares to this runner, and so on and so forth, blah, blah, blah. And Glenbard West had like a 40-second split from their front two runners to O'Brien, who's their third runner, and then they had another 20-second split from 4 to 5. So they had, I think, altogether a 72-second split. And compare that to Hersey, who was close to that, about 70 seconds. Compare that to York with Ethan Kern the last week at Peoria, where they had a 60-second split. So you look at those different things, and you're like, Glenbard West got second. They ran better than they did the last time that I saw them at first to the finish. But I think they have better races in them, and they're going to peak at the right time. Neuqua Valley, talking to Paul Vandersteen after the race, and Paul said, you know, it's a good win, but we have a lot of work to do. And their split blew up a little bit more. I mean, it was 42 seconds. They had a nice pack in that race, but it was 42 seconds. And the past couple of meets at Richard Spring and at Culver, it was 32 to 33 seconds. So I'm sure that's something that they're going to work on in their conference meet this week, and that regional meet that they're in is a Dilley. But we'll see on that. So who knows where the rankings national ranking wise, Glenbard West went in there because there aren't that many great teams. I looked at the stat regional rankings. Mason, they shouldn't be in there. Brighton, lower. Carmel, Indiana, So Carmel's I had ranked 34th, and I think that's fair. Brighton, I had dropped to like 33, so right ahead of Carmel. But just scoring between splits and with speed ratings, and and my little mishmash, you add all of those things together, you have Wheaton Warrenville South, who's a top 10 team. You have St. Charles East, who got close to them a few weeks ago. They're a top 15 team. Hershey's a top 20 team nationally right now. And then you have Nequa, you have Lyons, you have Glenbard West, and you have York. So you have three. I can't count. I think 17 Illinois teams in there. And it's not an Illinois bias, national folks that are watching this. It's the Illinois runners have improved, or the other runners nationally haven't improved. I don't know what it is. The next few weeks, can't wait to start digging into looking at some of the national races this past weekend. Great American and Clovis. Great Oak ran pretty good there. And just to see where teams fall in. And there may be Illinois teams that drop out of the rankings, and there may be some that stay in there. We won't know. So, Twilight was great. The one thing that I like is I keep thinking in my head, how can you show up in the middle of a meet? I'm there to support all 8 races. I'm here to support the meet. I bought a t-shirt, but it's such a great meet. So you get a chance to see. I love watching kids that are running their best races, and you're filming them and you're looking right in their eyes, and you can see that focus and you can see that desire. You're looking right at them. And so it was cool to watch all 8 races. I was tired at the end of the night. I was out of it at the end of the night, but it's worth running around a cross-country course for 3.5, 4 hours. So we're at 20 minutes now. So can I get all these? Well, we're not going to talk about all the conference meets that are going in this weekend. We'll just mention some of the bigger ones. West Suburban Silver on Saturday afternoon now at Proviso West. On the boys' side, you have Lyons Township, York, Glenbard West. I don't think Downers North. They'll be close. They have Matt Morvick in there. Hinsdale Central still doesn't have Alec Hill, but you have 5 dynamite teams that are ranked in the state in that conference. That's pretty good. Oak Park, no. Proviso West, do they have a team? I think they do. But so that will be a great race, individual race between Cavan and Kern. I was going to say Roberts too, but if Jack is in good shape, he's racing there, that would be a great race. Moody, Klish, great race. On the girls' side, Kaitlyn Hart. And then it comes down to, I think it comes down to Lyons Township's pack against the front running of Glenbard West. And I think Lyons Township is going to be the slight favorite heading in there. You also have a new conference. You have the Duquesne Conference. And you have St. Charles East and Wheaton Warrenville South. Take 2. They won't face each other again until state. And then regionals, Nike regionals. Should be a great, another dual meet. It's close to another dual meet. And at Lake Park's course, and the conditions are supposed to be pretty good. It's supposed to be cooler, mid-50s. Hopefully we don't have any conference meets rained out like we did last year. Boy, I couldn't take that. So you have that. And on the girls' side, you have Poglish going against Schlenker and Sophia McDowell of Geneva, Schlenker of Batavia, Poglish of Wheaton Warrenville South. Wheaton Warrenville South, slight favorite. Batavia didn't have Mia Gianfrancesco, their number 2 runner, in at Twilight. A little bit of it twisted her ankle watching a grade school meet, I guess, running around the course. So hopefully she's back. She's healthy. Batavia has a pretty good team. So that's an interesting meet. You have the DuPage Valley. Now it's down to a 5-team meet. Comes down to Naperville North on the girls. Do they get a perfect score? Do they score a 15 there? On the boys' side's a little bit closer. You have Neuqua Valley. Naperville North has improved. You have Naperville Central. Chagallus, individual favorite there. He didn't run his best race at Twilight. He'll be back. So that should be good. You have the Mid-Suburban League at, I don't even know where it's at. I think it's at Malis Park. I'm not sure. But you have Hersey on the boys' side. Hersey, the clear favorite. And you have some other pretty good teams. You have Rolling Meadows. You have Barrington that are going to challenge Josh Methner and the crew there. On the girls' side, you have Barrington. Molly Fitzpatrick, geez. Running great right now. Another duel between her and Anne-Marie Jordan of Palatine. So you have Palatine. You have Barrington. You have a good prospect team that's improving. It has a nice pack. They could challenge for the win in this. And you also have Friend. Friend has a nice little pack. A little bit farther back, it's going to have to deal with the front runners from those schools. Where else? Oh, geez. Southwest Prairie on Friday. The principals decided, because of everything that happened last year, a knee-jerk reaction, so that no parents can come and watch their kids run on Friday afternoon. They're running the meet at noon on Friday. So at Shanahan Park, picturesque park where you see rabbit and deer on the trail, and it should be good. Minooka and Oswego facing off in the girls' race. A nice girls' race between Van Eck and Christensen and Stogstill. Stogstill got 16th last Wednesday at Twilight. You also, on the boys' side, Minooka, Plainfield South. Christian Knowlton, individual favorite in that race. It should be interesting. Last year of this configuration, before they add West Aurora and Yorkville, and that conference will be dynamite with Minooka going up against Yorkville in that conference. What else? There are a ton of meets. We will list them for you. We'll cover them. We'll write about them for you, but we'll keep you updated on where everybody is and what everybody's doing. So I did in 25 minutes. Yay! Well, you put in the interview and everything else. Close to 30 minutes. So everybody have a good week. The temperature's Monday today. I mean, this weekend, running weather. Good sleeping weather too, like 60 degrees, 50 degrees, and Monday, Tuesday it's supposed to be in the 80s again. I'll take 60s every day. I'll take 60s every day, no rain, just so that we get no cancellations. We can't cancel regional meets or anything like that, or sectional meets, but we go into state championship weekend. No, we don't. We go into conference champion. Boy, long weekend. Long weekend. What else? Did everybody get that little notice on their phone about the emergency alert system that President Trump has put in there? I'm working, and the phone, the little squeak around. I was expecting, this is an emergency alert system. Best alert system ever that I created. Better than everybody else's. Better than Obama's. Better than Hillary Clinton's. I believe that. No. It kind of startled me. I gotta figure out a way to get that off my phone. I don't think there is. I want to tell you something right now. Our economy's great. Even though people that have studied economics know that a political policy for economics it takes about 1.5 to 2 years to kick in. Using my major to good use, or my degree to good use on that. So that's it. I'm going to stop right there, tie the line, not going to talk about anything else, not gonna. And everybody have a great week. I'm going to be all over the place. You'll see me at Amboy, and then I'll be at some conference meets this weekend. You'll have to keep your eyes open, because just when you least expect it, I'll be there. Or just when you think you have the answers, I'll change the questions. So with that being said, everybody have a great week. Enjoy your conference meets. Enjoy your teammates. And thank you to the teams that were honoring Tolona Unity this weekend. I think that was a pretty cool thing. keep honoring them. So, till the next time that we talk, we'll talk a lot about conference meets, obviously. It's Mike Newman from Monday Morning Finish Line. Have a great weekend. Great week. Oh, jeez. Yeah. And we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.